Lagos. This is our beautiful Lagos. Good afternoon. This is 3:08 West African time. Of course, it's time for Security 247 on Echo 89.7 FM. First on your mind. How are we doing today? It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon, and I'm so excited to be here. It's been a pretty busy day for me, but this is one session of my day that I also look forward to as well. It's another opportunity for us to be able to educate ourselves on security, child safeguard, and of course, family protection, and how best we can ensure that we have a safe society for everyone to thrive, to grow, and of course, to be amazing at what they do. Remember that this show is brought to you by and powered by the Lagos State Government, and we're here every Saturday at 3 p.m. to bring to you good news about security, safeguarding, and protection, and everything. We just don't do this alone. We also have guest speakers that comes on the show to come and share with us from their area of expertise. And of course, at some point, we also open the phone line to listen to you to be able to get your feedback on what we are, talking about from our daily conversations and of course our experiences in the city of Lagos. Welcome once again. I'm your host, Patience Osinake. And like I said, I'm so happy to be here and I'm looking forward to having an insightful conversation today. Today it's a lovely day. We're going to be having an interesting one, like I said. Yesterday was International Day of the Boy Child, and I was really, really excited because I know that.
Are you serious?
I am. I am so excited.
We don't get to know.
You didn't know? Yes, yesterday was
Wow.
International Day of the Boy Child, and I was very happy because I know that we have a lot of stuffs out there for the girls, every time the girl child, and when we have the day to celebrate the boy child, is always an amazing opportunity to shine light on our boys. And today we're going to be discussing building self-esteem in our boys, for them to stand up, to be heard, and to be seen. We're going to have a powerful conversation. Like I said, they're going to be part of this as well. Would love to hear from you. What are your take? And of course, to share with us the boys in your home. How are you shining light on them? So today we're celebrating the International Day of the Boy Child with the powerful theme, building self-esteem in boys, stand up, be heard, be seen. We're sharing, shining spotlight on our boys, their dreams, their struggles, and of course their future. We have a whole lot of things we're going to be talking about them today. So if you're a boy child out there and you're listening to me right now, we celebrate you, we love you, we care for you. You're amazing, you're talented. The society see you, and of course we appreciate you. We're happy to have you in our lives. Joining us today is Israel Balogun. I'm not doing this, I don't have a powerful guest. And he will be sharing with us a whole lot about the things that we're talking about as we mark the International Day of the Boy Child. Hi Israel, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I am doing well. It's so good to hear from you.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you very much. Tell us, who is Israel Balogun? What do you do?
Thank you so much. I'm Israel Balogun. I am the founder of Akin. Akin is an organization that works with homeless youngsters in
Okay.
Nigeria. We provide them shelter, rehabilitations, educational training, and vocational training. We give them opportunity to also discover, develop, and explore their talent. I can also work with these youngsters in a way that give them platform for them to develop themselves, to discover themselves, and chart their own paths. So that's what we do.
Oh, that's great. How long have you been directing the affairs at the foundation?
Yeah, since 2017.
Wow, that's a
we
long
have
time.
been. Yes.
Well done, well done. I could also see from your profile that you are a behavioral rehabilitator. When I saw that, I was like, okay, this sounds a bit very huge. What is that about?
Okay, so firstly, I need to let you know my background also that I was once on the street myself
Wow.
for 12 years. I lived on the street for within the age of 10 and 22.
Wow.
At the age of 22, I could not read or write. I don't even know alphabet.
Wow.
So, but when I left to cut the social short, I decided to go back to school at that age, and I went on to develop myself in rehabilitations of behaviors, addictions, behavior using storytelling and other rehabilitation method that is not medical. So that has been what we use to rehabilitate our participants, knowing that they are on the street and then they are prone to drug use, they are prone to
Mm.
violent behavior, they are prone to a lot of activity that is not good for them as children.
Wow, you have such a powerful story, and I'm sure that there'll be a lot of people out there who would really want to hear, from you, and of course to get inspired. And of course, thank you for doing this. Thank you for using your journey and your story to inspire other children and other people out there. So like I said today, we're shining light on our boys, and of course, we'll be talking real issues from the streets, from the homes to the school, about how we're raising, supporting, and listening to our boys in today's society. What was growing up like for you as a young boy?
Okay, so I grew up, and I think if I want to speak to you, I would love to focus my attentions on the young boy. Young boy in Africa. Most
Okay.
importantly, the focus. The culture of Africa is something that needs to be addressed. Because that has been a kind of challenge in properly developing a boy child. For me, when I was growing up, I grew up in a family of four wives. My father has four wives, and then
Hmm.
I have 26. So
Wow.
I have so many elder ones. I was second to the last of my mother, and you dare not talk. You dare not
Hmm.
contribute to the
Of course.
As little as I was at that tender age of 9, 10, I could remember that when they are talking, whistling by the side, and I'm just looking at them, you don't have a contribution to say, no, you have something in your mind you want to say,
Hmm.
but you cannot express it. So when I left home and I became homeless, the such thing was forced in me.
Hmm.
Others will shouted at me and I would keep quiet and I would look at them. But over time, strength came inside of me and it became, instead of responding assertively, I began to respond childishly.
Hmm.
So the kind of culture that we grew up with in my own family, in my own home, and I think this is also represents so many family in Nigeria, and I would say that it's also embedded in our culture. Many a time we believe that a child shouldn't ask many questions. If a child is asking too much questions, we even tell them you ask a lot of questions. You have too much questions. Go
Hmm.
and sit down. Go
Hmm.
and sit down. You have too much questions. And such statements often the time it kills many things in them. It
Yes.
makes them be able to
Mm-hmm.
form the worldview in which they are trying to form at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm speaking from my home perspective
Yes.
because at the age of 10, going to 11, I gained freedom. Nobody tells me what to do.
Hmm.
At that age.
I do whatever I like. Whatever I just feel like doing, I do it. Nobody
At
is
10.
asking why are you doing that.
Wow.
Why are you doing it? Why are you not taking your bath? Why are you not washing your teeth? Why just do whatever you just not to wash your teeth, not to take your bath for months.
Hmm.
Nobody asking. So that independent life also have an implications
Mm.
on who and how information is processed in my own personal mind.
Yes.
And that's also
Mm-hmm.
it's helping us in us understanding how this young staff think. When
Yeah.
I come to in general speaking, I think for me, growing up, family, culture, religion, belief that make children to be treated like children, and then when we treat them like a child, we don't think like maybe they have their own opinion, they have anything to share, they have anything to contribute to anything. We just see them from the perspective of being a child who we must think for. We must think for the child what to eat, we
Hmm.
must think for the child where, we must think for the child which kind of school to go, and not about we must think for the child who the child should become in the future. You see,
Hmm.
that alone it makes the child become somebody who does not form his own world, and therefore the child it became difficult for the child to be hard. It give the boy the chance to even stand up and speak for himself.
Exactly. And that is one of those things we're going to be discussing today to see how we can, begin to take intentional steps about, raising our boys. Now, let me even ask, you've really gone really deep into growing up. So right now, when you walk around communities, right, what do you notice most about how we are raising our boys today?
I think things are changing though. Enlightenment is coming little by little. People
Okay.
are getting to know. Most importantly, among those who are learning, but it's not significantly enough for us to say we are doing good. I will not say that because it's still there. It's still there. Though compared to before, it's not the same, but it's not enough at this time. It's not enough. There is no conscious decision by parents to determine how we will raise the child. There's no conscious. You see, you have to be conscious to do some things. We only leave the environment the child grows. We allow the environment to determine how the child will go. And whatever the kind of environment that the child grows from will determine how the child will respond to issues in life.
Yeah, but do you think that from studies and research, do you think that as parents to pay more attention to how we're raising the girl child than how we're raising the boy child?
I think it is both. Both have to be paying more attention to. But may I say, so many discussions have been going on girl child, and we are leaving boy child behind, thinking they are boys. They will I don't want it. This one is a
They'll
boy
be
now.
fine. Be fine.
Sometimes when some things are going on in the family, they'll call the kids and say you are a lady.
Mm.
Copy him. Don't him is a boy. It's a boy. You are a lady. So we are making it look as if a boy child is automatically created perfect.
Hmm.
And so we want to sit girls down. We want to talk to girls. When we are doing a program, we will have just girls program. We have girls program, girls talk, girls show. Nobody is organizing deliberate program, deliberate teaching, deliberate mentorship for boys.
Hmm.
Abi?
And most of the time when we want to focus on talk to people who can give you an answer, practical ones. When parents want to talk to their children about sexual education, do you know who they call?
Of course, the girls. Yeah, most of the time from statistics.
They educate them about sexual education. They tell them about their menstrual, they tell them about their body, they tell them about this.
Yeah.
But the boys also has a puberty and transmission.
Abi?
Hmm.
The body will even sleep and some of the things
It's a lot.
some of our boys will rescue on the street. They come to me and say, Daddy, I don't know what is happening to me. Whenever I sleep, I just discover that I've ejaculated, I'm wet, I'm released on my body.
Who you wanted that
I
one?
need to sleep.
It's a face.
I have to
Yeah.
eat or something. And I said, look, it is you, human being. It's normal that it's a process of
Exactly.
Only if a boy child down and say, look, you are a boy. This is what is happening to you at this point, and this is how you feel it. This is it. Nobody cares.
Now go to care first.
Nobody
God.
cares. She will not be pregnant. We think, I should protect this kid as well. They will not molest her. They will not touch her. Of course, it's very important to do that. I'm not saying it's not important, but we are leaving boy child
Behind. Now, speaking to the home front, right? Because, like you said, the statistics are there, and of course, from research and from my experiences with families as well and community, through community engagement programs. These are real facts, right? We have a lot of programs out there for girls. We have summits, we have workshops. Yes, I could say to an extent we have, some tiny, maybe some, events here and there for boys. I know this week I saw a whole lot, and I was talking to a colleague of mine. I said, okay, most of the time when I get to see a lot of events about boys, it is when we have International Day of the Boy Child, celebration, and after that we have more of celebrations and events and workshops for the girls. Now, speaking to the home front, what do you think? How do you think parents, fathers and male guardians can play stronger role in helping our boys, to really shape them to be seen and to be valued?
Well, this is what I would say. I I think you cannot give what you don't have. Give what you have. Many of us who became fathers today were never at one point in our life trained by anybody. Nobody ever sat us and talked to us. So we don't know what it means to do it. I know of us who are somebody also create a kind of program or training or they put it in our curriculum to learn it. So it becomes difficult for even a father to be conscious of saying, I want to train my child and I want to make sure I reach this